So that's the only way I could think to get my own story told is for me to tell it.
Yo, my name is Marcus from QuestCutz, and you're tuned in to Hidden Jewels Magazine.
Thank you, Marcus, for giving Hidden Jewels Magazine the opportunity of interviewing you.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys as well.
Thank you. So just go ahead and inform the people who asked you what QuestCutz is.
So QuestCutz is an upcoming mobile platform that facilitates mobile hair services, meaning that our online platform will connect mobile barbers and stylists with clients that are looking to get their hair cut, but at their location.
Okay, so they don't have to go out, spend gas money, go to the location, you'll come to them?
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to wait at the barbershop, at the salon. The barber and stylist come to your location at your request at whatever time you want that they're available. And come and cut us out your hair.
So it's pretty much like an Uber for hairstylists.
Sort of. A lot of people like to categorize it as that, but investors hate to hear that. Okay. So I've trained myself not to say that because they like Uber of and then slam the door in your face.
Oh, okay.
But yes, basically it's essentially the Uber of haircuts and hairstyles.
Okay, cool.
Coming soon.
Because we need that, okay? I want to get my hair done in my house. I don't want to have to hear all that extra waiting for hours. Because girls getting hair done, it takes hours.
Yeah, it already take hours, and I would just hate for y'all to have to go up to the salon and have to wait.
Man, try to find parking. If they didn't do it right, they got to redo.
Right.
So what inspired or motivated you to start QuestCutz?
That's a good question. So what I always wanted to be a business owner. I think I had a teacher when I was in high school. You know, I wanted to be an electrician. And when I told her that, she looked at me like I was crazy. She was a black lady too, but she looked at me like I was crazy, and she told me like, "Why don't you try to be an engineer on your own firm?" And I'm like, "What? I can do that? I can be that?" Just like, yeah. And so I started doing my own research, and like, you know, I found out that it was possible and that there were other black engineers, but I noticed that there wasn't any from my community that I knew of. It wasn't none in my circles. My dad didn't know no engineers. My mom didn't. You know, my friends didn't know none. Right. My teachers barely knew any black engineers. And so, you know, I realized that, you know, the reason why I felt like I couldn't do that is because I didn't have no examples of it from my community. But I eventually changed what I wanted to do. So I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur shortly after that. And once I realized that, you know, I committed to it. So like with QuestCutz, when QuestCutz came along, I went to Cal State East Bay for about a year, and then I ended up having to leave. And when I left, I had to leave because of financial issues. Yes. And so when I left, you know, I had the type of mindset where nobody can define me. Like, no, I'm not gonna let an institution define who I am as a person. You know, like, you know, I had a lot of conviction in that, and you know, I started writing business plans. You know, the first business plan was a media company. You know, then I wrote a business plan for a semi-pro basketball league for the city. I just started writing hella business plans. And I'm like, man, how much is it going to cost to start all of these? And I'm like, oh, man, it's going to cost a killing. Then I came across this idea. This idea started off as a barbershop that did mobile. This idea started off as a barbershop that did mobile hair services. Okay. And then I realized that the overhead was too much. It's a lot of money. So, you know, one of my partners told me that I should do an app. Just have an app facilitate all of the mobile appointments instead of the barbershop. And I'm like, oh man, that's a good idea. Didn't think of that. So then we got started, you know, and that's pretty much how I got to the point of like my inspirations and the driving factors that brought me to start QuestCutz.
That's dope. That's dope.
Thank you.
Because not too many people you know, they have an idea of, okay, I want to own my own business, but they don't know the background or do the research that it takes to actually conduct it.
Right.
And it scares a lot of people. Like
it does. It is.
Just work.
It is. No, it really is scary. Like, I mean, you know, when I left college and I started writing those business plans, like I didn't stop learning about business. So that was the thing. Like I didn't let school be my only gateway to business. So right after that, I picked up books. Like, you know, I read the Personal MBA. Like, you know, Daymond John, The Power of Broke. I read that. Like, you know, I started watching hella YouTube courses.
Yeah.
Not courses, but videos from, of course, prolific entrepreneurs. Like, you know, I bought a course or two from like master classes. Like I was like determined to learn about business and everything that I could learn about it. And so once I did that, I felt confident enough to actually start it. Like, you know, and so I started telling people about it. You know, a lot of people say don't tell people your ideas, but I feel like, you know, you get a lot of feedback from folk. Like, you know, like you get a lot of feedback, and if you got the drive to do it, don't nobody got your drive to do something. So it don't matter if you tell people, because they might try to pick it up, but unless they got like $1 billion to like hire a whole staff to complete this, and if you just telling the average person, they might try to steal your idea, but I promise you they're not going to be able to execute and follow through with it. It's only like a select few people that can do that, and you got to have the drive and the purpose behind it. So I was telling a lot of people about it. I got a lot of feedback. People was telling me that, like, you know, what if you send your barber to somebody's house and they rob your barber? And I'm like, well, I mean, if you're doing cashless transactions, I mean, what are you gonna rob? Some clippers? And he don't know how to cut hair? Like, I mean, come on, bro. Like, so you get a lot of feedback, but safety is also something that we definitely got to pay attention to for both parties, the barber and the client.
Right.
So we do have, you know, provisions within safety in the app.
Okay.
That will be coming out pretty soon.
Yes, QuestCutz app coming soon. Let me see. What has been your biggest setback, aside from you mentioned the financial problems with school? Your biggest setback and struggles, and how did you overcome them?
Oh, that's a good question. You asked some good questions.
Thank you.
My biggest setback right now has been app development.
Okay.
So we have an app, and our app was supposed to come out in June of 2018, and right now it is just about to come out, like, really soon. Like right now we're beta testing it, but we should have been doing this last year. So app development has been, we had a miscommunication with our development team, a big miscommunication, but everything is rectified. But it set our timeline back a lot, a whole lot. So I got everything ready. I had all the clients ready. I had maybe 60 barbers. I did a lot of groundwork, had everything ready, and then we wasn't ready. Like the app wasn't ready. So, you know, you kind of gotta keep everything going still. So we was doing pop-up. Yeah, exactly. So you know, it didn't come, and it didn't even come soon after that. So we had to figure out other ways to keep your brand alive and to keep things going, keep new events on the horizon. You know, we did pop-up shops. So we have a partnership with USC where we go cut hair there once a month. And we're trying to expand that to other colleges. But, you know, I have great barbers, and our barbers, they all licensed, and, you know, they're really good. And we go up to USC. We cut all of the men there. We do groups. So we've done, festivals. We cut hair at festivals, too. Yeah, so USC had a Gear music festival. And people got their hair cut before before the event. We also did Compton Beats and Bites at where is it? I think Davis Middle School.
Okay, that's right behind the school I teach at.
Yeah. And so the mayor even was there. We got a photo out with the mayor. And yeah, I mean, we've done events like that. We cut hair for students that were about to get filmed for the My Brother's Keeper Alliance, which is Obama's, initiative.
Okay.
So we cut hair for that. And, it's just about getting opportunities. And, like, even if one lane is having a really bumpy time, there's other lanes open that you can travel in until this lane fix itself,
About it, yeah.
So, it's just about like, okay, well, the app isn't going to be here no time soon, so let's pivot. Let's go to pop-up shops. Let's focus on that. And then also, too, like, we can still take mobile appointments through our social media and through my phone. People call me. I got like a little business number on my phone. People will call that and be like, yo, I need a cut like ASAP. And like, it's kind of weird because you ain't never talked to this person before. They just found your number online, called you like, yeah, man, I need a cut in like 45 minutes. But these people do pay top dollar though for a cut. So they'll pay like, almost $100 for a haircut at that time. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we've kept it alive by just, shifting lanes, So until the app is finished, we'll be taking appointments through our social media.
Say it again.
I said, until the app is out, we'll be taking appointments through our social media. Perfect. And we also have pop-up shops too. So feel free to book a pop-up shop anytime. Just either go to our social media, DM us. My number is on there too, so you can find our information there, and we can cut your group. Foster homes,
that's amazing.
Foster homes, hospitals. If you have a nonprofit and you service Black men, or even any type of men, any men. If you service men, and they may be less fortunate, or even like they are fortunate. You just want to do something nice for them. Businesses, if you want to throw an event and have something for your folk. Bachelor parties as well.
Go ahead, spit it out there.
Just let us know, at QuestCutz on Instagram, and follow us. You'll be able to keep up with our app development and when it's released, and also you can even get in on our beta testing right now.
Okay, really?
Live beta testing, so you can have a barber come to you right now.
On your shirt?
Yep. QuestCutz.
QuestCutz.
What is he? QuestCutz. What is he?
So would you say, having that setback has taught you not necessarily how to bounce back, but how to move differently? And what has that taught? How has that taught you?
Yeah, so it definitely has taught me how to bounce back, and also just how to, like how I said, like how to shift lanes. I think because it's a lot of those are one of those lows that you get as an entrepreneur that they talk about. Like, it's not for the weak, so you're gonna have things happen to you, but you gotta change your mindset. A lot of things don't happen to you, they happen for you.
Say that again.
I said a lot of things don't happen to you, they happen for you.
That's true.
And so, this is my beginning. That was at the beginning stages of my entrepreneurial career. That's something I had to learn. Like, that's a lesson that I'm happy I learned at square one versus square 32.
Right.
Because at square 32, you losing millions.
Yeah.
At square, like I said, at square 32, you losing millions. At square one, you not really. I mean, you missing out on opportunities. Really, right. Like, you're not really missing out on money. When you lose out on opportunities, you lose out on money. But at the same time, the cost is it's significantly lower than when it would be if you was at square 32 and you bring it in millions, and then you got to put your whole project on halt for like 6 months, and then that's ugly. But so you got to learn how to transform your setbacks into not really don't even don't even categorize that as a setback, you know. It's just like it's like a shift, you know. It's just like a shift, like shift over. You have other lanes, like, you know, if you think of like mobile haircutting, you can do that in all different type of ways. Like, you know, you gotta get creative though. Sometimes you just gotta get creative. Sometimes it's not gonna be like the status quo or the same way that everybody is supposed to do it, or the same way that people want to do it. Sometimes you gotta do what you have to do to stay alive until, you know, your moment comes. You know, it's all about surviving and moving forward. Like, you know, if you stuck on an island and, you know, a tree branch fall on your arm, you gotta, you know, you can't just sit there and talk about it. You gotta like try to figure out your way. You gotta survive. You know, that's the thing. Survive.
Wrap up your wound and keep it moving.
Exactly. Survive until you get to where you're trying to go.
Exactly. You know? I feel that. Go ahead. I'm proud. I've been knowing Marcus since he was kids. Okay.
Yeah, since the first grade.
Man, so seeing this is just amazing. It really is. But how would you measure success? Would it be by money, clientele, or just overall happiness?
Man, that's a good question. That's a tough question too, because I'm still in my process. But definitely by, I think first and foremost, if you're talking business wise, right? Definitely by clientele. Yeah. First, before money, before anything. If you got somebody that want what you got, like that's like excited for what you have going, and that like really want it, or people who will call you and be like, bro, I need a cut. I'm willing to pay $80 in the next 2 hours, bro. I need a cut right now. Then you know you have something. You know that you have the potential of success. Yeah. You know, the client's gonna let you know first. So, I mean, when people want pop-up shops, like, you know, it's just clientele. Like, I think success is within the people. Like, you know, I got a line that I created in my second life, you know, as a, you know, I write a little bit here and there, but I got a line that, you know, it's how you measure success is by how many people you trying to bless.
I like that.
And so, you know, I just look at it like that's how, you know, the world operates, is by helping people, whether or not you know, I mean, capitalism and mainstream America make it look like, you know, we are supposed to winner take all, you know. But in reality, businesses help people. Like, your grocery store make a lot of money. It make a killing, but it feeds the community. Like, you know, you gotta think about it like a haircut, right? It may not, I mean, you paid your barber like $25, $30, $40 in some areas, but you look good and you feel good afterwards. Like, you know,
that's you pay type of payment.
Exactly. It's an enhancement to like your appearance. It help like you look better to people. You can get more opportunities.
You even walk better.
Yeah, you walk better. You know, you got a little different feeling in your heart. You know, it's like, you know, you got a lot more confidence. And so I definitely measure success by like the amount of people that you can bless. Like, first off, like the amount of people that you trying to bless and that you have already blessed and that you aiming to bless. And if you trying to like enhance people's lives, then I feel like, you know, you're on your way to success. Right. Because I mean, literally, that's all businesses is just people. Like, you know, it's either enhancing the way people live or enhancing the way businesses operate. That's a B2B business, and then you got B2C. And B2B businesses usually service B2C, which is business to client. So it's definitely by clients. I mean, money too, though. Money plays a big part in it too, because that's how you sustain. Like, you know, so the money is like, I think of money as life force energy. Like, you feel me? So like, we literally have to work to receive money.
That's true.
You know, you literally have to like work to get money. So you literally put your life force energy into getting money. And when you think of like business transactions and stuff like that, you know, we like with business transactions, people they give you their life force energy, like, you know, in exchange for a product or a service. And if your service or your product is good enough for people to give you their life force energy, then you know you have something successful. Especially if they're willing to pay a premium for it, you know. And so you know, it's real deep when you think about like money and success and clientele and people wanting what you have. Like, you know, it's deeper than just like a product being sold. You know, it's a real life connection. Like, you know, like the way the society is built, like I said, money is life force energy, and people, if people decide to spend that with you, then you know you definitely have something. And even their time too, like, you know, their time as well. But you know, that's kind of how I define success.
I like them answers. I've just been over here just smiling.
Thank you.
I really like that mindset. You're really over here educating and teaching people, for real.
I appreciate that. That's my goal.
Well, we're going to take a break right now so you can catch us back shortly. All right, welcome back with Hidden Jewels Magazine. So pretty much we're going to take off where we left off. So what sacrifices were made for you in order to get to the position you are at today?
Ooh, what sacrifices? Man. Whew. So I started QuestCutz when I was officially started QuestCutz when I was 21.
Okay.
Like, you know, I think during that year of me being 21, you know, I just gathered data. So I was doing like surveys, I was talking to barbers and trying to see like price points and you know, would barbers do this? Would people want this? So I just did a lot of surveys.
Okay.
And I had one kid at the time, and my girl was pregnant with our second kid. You know, that wasn't a big workload. You know, I was just gathering data here and there and coming home and typing stuff on the computer and synthesizing the data that I had into my business plan. When I turned 22, you know, so how I funded QuestCutz. So my father passed away when I was 20 or 21, 20. He passed away when I was 20.
3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago. Yep. And, you know, when he passed away, he was selling his house. And when he was selling his house, you know, me and my siblings, we got, you know, a piece of that. And instead of like, you know, doing something for me, buying a whole bunch of stuff I didn't need, going on a vacation, I decided to invest in my dreams and start a business, like, you know. And so that was like, I think that was one of the biggest sacrifices I made, because you think about it, like my girl was pregnant with my first kid when my dad died. And I could have like used that. I could have bought a house. I could have did a lot of stuff that could have like benefited us immediately at that one moment, but I chose to do something, you know, that I felt would benefit us more later.
Right.
And then like other sacrifices, you know, especially when you have kids, you know, and family members and stuff like that, you can't spend time with them. Like, you know, you lose friends. Like, you know, you lose friends. You don't do things you want to do. Like a lot of, in the beginning stages, you have like a crazy amount of work. Literally all day long, you got work. You got something that you could be working on. Like, you know, your business not bringing in money yet, so you got something you can work on to get you to that point. People that you can be reaching out to, people that you can be calling and doing, you know, all the, you know, you can. It's always something, some kind of plan, some type of work, something. And if you want to get to your goals as fast as possible, then you're gonna spend your whole day doing this. And if you got kids and a family, then you can't really spend time with them. Like, you know, let alone other family members and going to birthday parties. None of that. Like, you literally have to sacrifice all of that. Like, and I'm not saying sacrifice your family, but you got to eventually make time for your family. I think I struggled with that in the beginning. I struggled a lot with making time for my family. Like, you know, it was tough. But you know, I had tunnel vision. But like I said, when you got tunnel vision, you got a family, man. It ain't a good mixture. You feel me? Because you constantly trying to work, and then your kids is, you know, if you got your desk set up at the house, your kids is right there, you know, pulling on you, asking you for a gang of different things, your baby moms is asking you for all type of things, and, you know, time for one, stuff like that. So you sacrifice a lot of stuff, you know, a lot of like relationships, you know, like a lot of, you know, it's a big sacrifice, you know, and it's a big sacrifice on your well-being too. Yeah. So your well-being, you know, the stress of being an entrepreneur, like, you know, when you starting your company and, you know, you reach out to this person and, you know, you think it's an opportunity, but it's not. And then you getting all these no's constantly. And at the same time of getting these no's, you struggling building your company, and, you know, it takes a toll on you, you know. Yeah. Like, you also, I think one of the biggest sacrifices that you have to make too is, at this age too, I'm 23, is not working a regular job.
Say it again.
Right? Because, like, when you not working a regular job and making just a regular old consistent pay, that's cool, you know, you suffer financially. So, you know, I think like that financial, you know, I mean, it helped you to manage your money a lot better, because, you know, money is like, you know, I wouldn't say super scarce, but, you know, you're not able to do all of the little extra things that you want to do.
That's true.
So, you know, not working like just a regular job full time and dedicating, like, figuring out your financial situation to where you can pay all your bills and still work your business full time. You know, I think that just takes a toll on your well-being, because you don't even have like extra funds for like self-care. You don't have no funds for self-care, none of that. Like, you gotta like make your own self-care. Like, I start meditating, you know, I try to drink green smoothies. Seriously? You feel me? I drink tea in the morning.
I made my own shampoo to save money because of the natural benefits, one, but to save money because stuff is expensive. Like you said, we don't have that full time and that pay. It takes a toll.
Yeah, it takes a toll.
You gotta get creative.
Yeah, man, you gotta get hella creative. And so you know, I kind of just create my own type of self-care and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely, like, the sacrifices, you know, I mean, they're big. Like, you know, it's tough, you know, and they are painful too. They're painful too, like, especially when, you know, you having like setbacks and stuff like that, and then you going through the, like, imagine having big setbacks and then you going through these, like you're not able to, you know, you sacrifice it at the same time. Like, you know, like, a lot of people quit after that.
It's no room for to decompress.
Yeah, exactly. It's no room for that. Like, you have to be like mentally fortified enough to just move past it. Like, you gotta keep, you just gotta keep moving forward. Like, period. Like, it don't matter. Like, okay, you got this setback and you sacrificing everything, and now you at a real low point, but you gotta keep moving forward. Like, period. Like, even if you crawling forward, even if you on the ground and you just doing a little stop, drop, and roll, but you moving forward, it don't matter. You just got to move forward, because eventually, if you doing the stop, drop, and roll, and you over here rolling, you eventually going to be able to stand up, you know, if you are able to keep moving forward. Once you stop, you die and you fail, you know. Like I said, I always say this, like, you fail once you quit. So if you don't quit, then you haven't failed yet. And so that's kind of how I look at life. So I know that, you know, if I don't want to fail, then I'm going to just keep moving forward. Even if I'm moving forward a little bit, even if I'm so down that I only work on like my business for an hour and soak the rest of the day, at least I moved forward for an hour. Exactly. And then next day is going to be 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and then I'm back to 12 hours again, slaving for myself, you know. So, you know, that's like kind of like how I've sacrificed, and those are my sacrifices, and, you know, how I've moved past them.
Keep moving forward. Have you? I'm pretty sure you have seen it. The movie The Robinsons, the Disney movie with the little boy. He's an orphan, but he's an inventor, and he comes up with a whole.
I haven't saw it, but
no,
I haven't.
Okay, well, the little boy, he's an orphan, but he's an inventor, and all of his inventors pretty much fail. But he has that mindset to keep moving forward.
Right.
He eventually makes a time machine, goes back into his past to himself when he was about to give up, and his son did, and his son brought him to the future and introduced him to pretty much everything that he accomplished by him just having that mentality of keep moving forward.
Right.
And that was pretty much the whole message of the movie, was just to keep moving forward, because you don't know what you'll accomplish. Just that gratification and just your success will be beautiful if you just keep moving forward.
Right.
I've mentioned that, and that's my movie. Okay, I'm a movie head.
Right. I'll check it out. It out.
It's a cartoon. Watch with your kids.
Yeah, I'm about to say I got kids, so it'll probably work out. But that just goes back to what I said earlier. Like, what was it that I said earlier? I forgot, but it goes back to what I had said earlier.
You gotta keep going. And then, but how would you say Watts has shaped you individually? How has your community shaped you to the entrepreneur mindset, businessman, go-getter that you are today?
Man, that's a good question. So also too, I do nonprofit work with the Social Justice Learning Institute that's based in Inglewood.
Okay.
Basically, they have classes. They occupy a class period in high schools and middle schools. They in like Compton High. They just got back into Morningside in Inglewood. They had one of the Animos. It's a lot of Animos. Yes, one of the Animos. I was a part of the program when I was in high school, so I'm a part of that as well. What's
their contact information? How can we reach out to them?
So their Instagram handle is at SJLI_CA. Their website is sjli.org. And they're located in 600 Centinela in Inglewood. And basically, they do a lot. So they help communities. They help and support communities of color by educating them through promoting health equity and through changing systems. And so I bring up SGLI to say that when I was going to Animo Watts in the Watts area, Watts Willowbrook area, they had a class period there, and they had a curriculum that was specifically tailored towards young black men that addressed a lot of issues that we face, that we literally took during class, and it was literally a class full of black boys.
See that.
All these black boys was gangbangers. Not all of them, let me not say all of them, but most of them was gangbangers. They was all from like different sets. The class was hectic, and then you have like the obnoxious folk, and then you got the quiet folk, and then so it was just, the class was hectic for sure. But what was interesting about it is that like they showed us. They had like the curriculum was so tailored towards us that like within 3 months, folk was going from gangbanging. I mean, they never stopped gangbanging, but because that's like a lifestyle. That's like that's something delicate that we ain't even gonna touch on. That's a whole interview by itself. But like these people went from ditching class, not caring about school, to studying for tests, and I just couldn't believe it. Like I literally couldn't believe it. Like, and we talk about gangbangers, like people from all over the city, because it was at least like 3 or 4 different gangs in there, and everybody got along, and everybody eventually got along.
Right, it takes time.
Yeah, it took time, and the staff was real supportive. The teacher of that class is my mentor to this day, Daniel Castillo.
Okay.
Man, the dude, he had depth beyond belief. Like, man, and he had a high emotional intelligence. So like a lot of
Okay.
times these students would challenge him, you know, say crazy things to him, and he just knew how to talk to young black men
Right.
in such a way that, you know, people like they resisted at first, but they then began to listen. And so,
Take
you
it
know, once
in.
I saw that, a lot of things started coming to the forefront of my mind. Like, you know, like, because I have a lot of experiences. I went to Gompers, you know,
Yeah.
I played basketball for Locke, you know, spent a lot of time up at Locke in high school. These are some of the most underfunded high schools in all of Los Angeles County.
Yeah.
You know, because of course, you know, the how education is paid for through the taxes,
Talk about it.
through the property taxes. But yeah, these are some of the most underfunded schools in LA County, and so they don't have as many resources. Alongside with that, like, you know, you got a lot of like outer influences that aren't productive to, you know, the progression of these people. And so after going through the Social Justice Learning Institute's curriculum in high school, you know, I learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot about why black and brown folk was doing what they was doing. And a lot of my friends that I grew up with is gangbangers. A lot of them is in jail. Some of them in jail for life.
Yeah.
Some of them have died due to street violence. Some of them are maintaining it, like, you know, doing their thing. Some of them that went through the program at SLI are actually doing well.
Okay.
And once I went through that program, it just like I said, it just opened my eyes up to like why they actually did what they did. And like, you know, I started doing research, and like, you know, you find out that you a lot of times you are a product of your environment, and if your environment was institutionally set up to be against you and to mold you into that product that they want you to be, then a lot of times people don't know no better, like, you know, and that's all that they know. So if it's a certain lifestyle that they live in, it's because they don't know no better. They don't have the opportunities or the access to people that can show them better. And so when I realized that, you know, I wanted to be something, you know, that made me, I always wanted to be something, but that made me want to be something so much more, because it's like, now I gotta be something not just for me, but for my whole community.
Yes.
For my homies that's in jail right now, that's in and out of jail, that don't know no better, that can't like figure it out, that don't have the opportunities maybe because they got a felony or because they have this. Now I have to be something for them. Like, you know, I gotta be that example for their kids, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
I gotta be the person giving opportunities to the neighborhood, like, you know, to all neighborhoods that are just like this one. Of course, you know, you're gonna start with this one, but like, it's a lot of things I want to do outside of QuestCutz as well to help lift up my people here in this community, and eventually after this communities around the nation that are similar to this one. So yeah, Watts has, like, the way growing up in Watts, you know, the east side and stuff like that, it shaped me. It just made me want to be something for my people, because it ain't a lot of examples of success. Like, you have the Gates, you have the Zuckerbergs,
right?
You got Jack Dorsey, you got the Bezos, you know, you got the Musk, you got all these prominent white billionaires.
There you go. Right.
But you don't have no black ones. And I mean, you have black ones, like we got Jay-Z, right? But like, you play the statistics game with rap. I mean, I love people who rap, and I support you if you good. But if you look at the statistics, even if you good, it's still tough to make it because it's saturated. So sometimes I don't think like people looking up to rappers is, you know, trying to be a rapper all the time is really, like, unless you like really good and really creative and stuff like that. But unless you at that certain level, I don't even think that you should do that. That should be your secondary thing. You should find something else, like try to find influences that's outside of like black people, unfortunately, because we not up there in the upper echelons, because right now tech is like the new oil.
Exactly.
Which is the crazy part about it. Like, tech is the new oil. If you come up with a good startup concept right now, you can go to like Santa Monica and get funded to start your own business. Like, I know people who, like, black founders who raised 2, 3, 4, 5 million. Like, it's a dude on Instagram that I follow that got funded from, he got his own tech startup, and he's funded by Jay-Z and Diddy.
Oh, wow.
His name is Delane. I mean, he's a young black dude. I think he's like 26, 25, 27,
wow.
something like that. But yeah, so I just think that like me personally, I want to be that pillar in my community that lets people know that you don't have to be a rapper, ball player,
right,
drug dealer, dude in the streets. You don't have to be those things, because that's what when you look on TV, that's how we're successful.
Right.
It's either we're successful in music, or we were basketball, football players, or you was just a prolific street dude. Now you got like a nonprofit and stuff like that. Nonprofits is even cool. That's entrepreneurship in a way. But yeah, watching, like the way watching shaped me, it's made me want to be somebody and be an influence in my community and help people see that there's another way that is successful, that can bring you success, and that can, and I still want to be accessible to folk too. Like I said, I want to start like my own nonprofit here. Once I become successful and I establish myself, I want to come back and give opportunities and do certain things for the community.
And not a lot of people do that.
That's like literally my purpose. Like, that's what I've defined as my purpose, is to reach a certain level of success, establish myself, and come back and raise up my peoples.
But I tell everyone who I speak with, I tell them that our purpose as people is to serve each other.
Yes, to help other people.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because we gotta uplift. If it's the mindset of every man for himself, then every man for himself is gonna die by himself. The world won't flourish. It won't be productive. We'll just stop growing. So we have to uplift. We have to help. We got to give information where information is needed. We have to literally pass around what we know, because if we don't, we can't be stingy with it. Being stingy, all right, you only gonna eat for so long.
Right. Yeah, it's unsustainable.
It is.
It's even when you look at government. What you said just kind of reminded me of government when they say like absolute capitalism, because that's basically me versus you.
Yeah.
Absolute capitalism is unsustainable, like, but also too, absolute socialism is unsustainable as well, like, so you kind of got to find that middle ground where like people is taken care of, people is working together, and people is actually able to flourish together, like, so definitely makes perfect sense.
We got to get to it. We got to do better. Do for sure better at it. So those are a few of your hopes. What are some more hopes for your community?
Man, that we, I got this vision in my head, and like, when I'm like when I'm driving through the neighborhood, and like, if you know the stories on if you know the stories about like how like the government and the powers that be kind of stop black communities from flourishing, like, for example, the most famous is Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Out here, I think they say like Broadway was a prominent street.
It was. Have you driven? You've seen up and down Broad.
But that's what I'm saying. But you look at the way that it looks. It looked like it was a prominent black street, and so my vision is to revive that.
Restore
for the black,
yes.
for our black community. Like, I want to make, like Nipsey Hussle said in Perfect Timing, like, man, like, make Slauson look like Venice Beach. Like, you feel me? I want to make Broadway, because I'm from the east side, right? I want to make Broadway look like Venice Beach. Like, you feel me? Or like Sunset. Like, why we don't have that? Like I was literally driving on the freeway yesterday, and I was on the 605, and I was getting onto the 105, and like you going over a thing, you can. No, was it the 105? I'm not sure. I was merging on a freeway though. I was going from south, merging on the freeway going east. And the two biggest buildings that I saw on the east side was the Compton Courthouse and St. Francis.
Yeah.
And it's like those are two biggest buildings in our community. Why is that?
Yeah.
You know, because we don't have our enterprises. We don't have those businesses where we can build big buildings and have rent out a gang of offices, and we at the top level. None of that. We don't have that, and I want us to have that. And I feel like that we should have that. Like, you know, you look at our history. You know, we deserve that. Like, you know, we deserve those opportunities in this country. Like, you know, and me personally, at this point, asking for reparations ain't, you know, I just don't feel like they gonna come. You know, I feel like my mindset is like,
they not.
We gotta take them for ourselves. And I also have the mindset of, if I don't do it, then who will? And so all of these ideas and things I tell you about is things that I'm striving to do, you know. But of course, I got to focus on one thing at a time so I can get that, so I can realize its potential, and then I can use that to build my other ventures, like, you know, the other things that I want to do. So like I said, QuestCutz I mean, it's a big part of me, but it's only the beginning of what I'm trying to do and what I want to do and what I'm going to do. Like, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I mean,
you know,
we just quote, as for your question, we could just quote Nipsey Hussle and just put Broadway instead of Slauson. But I still want Slauson to look good as well. You know, we headed down, we headed west after we go east with me. We starting east and we going west. But definitely I want like Broadway and Main Street to really look like a to actually look like a Broadway and a Main Street, because you look at the street Broadway is huge.
It is.
You got all these different like businesses, but they not like funeral homes and stuff that don't really serve the community. Like, you know, you got liquor stores. Like, I mean, you got like, I mean, shit, between Imperial and Manchester, you probably got like 15 liquor stores.
You do.
On Broadway, and I'm like, why don't we have a veggie grill? You know, all we need is a couple nice restaurants. Then you got people coming to these restaurants. You get the restaurants going.
But that also comes with the education, just educating our people more as to not selling out and just
and also having businesses too, right? People got to learn how to own a business as well. That's true. And see, my thing is, that's why I want to start my nonprofit, because that's what my nonprofit would do.
Okay.
It would teach people how to own businesses and even help you get funded to start your business.
Okay.
As long as you start your business within the community that you live in. Yeah. You know.
And to keep it too, because once, of course, gentrification moves into the communities, people see a check.
Yeah.
And then they out. Exactly. Right. So that's what I mean by not selling out. We have to teach them to take pride. A lot of businesses, it start off like, okay, I got a business, it's mine, but that lack of pride, that sense of pride, it diminishes. Right. And that's because, like you said, the powers that be, everything that influence the business, the surrounding businesses either move, get sold out, or just the corruption.
Go out of business too, because
they don't have
they either don't have the education or they can't get support from the community.
Exactly.
But I mean, now people are more aware of the need to support one another as far as black folk go, so that's a good thing. But we definitely need to increase like the business knowledge of the community, and I think like once that happens, if black people got the knowledge to run businesses and they start them in their community, then I feel like they'll flourish. Like,
we're gonna be unstoppable. In the about section of the magazine, it says, as a community we thrive, but together we're unstoppable. Because it's true, like once we really band together, ain't nothing is gonna stand in our way to actually being that Black Wall Street in our own communities, or just being the next Black billionaire in Watts. We can have more than one.
That's what I'm saying.
Still being in the community, still being present.
Right. Man, like I said, that's my goal. And man, if I can make more billionaires from Watts, oh my God. Because that's my thing. Like I said, I want to be the billionaire from Watts. Because I feel like if I'm a billionaire through tech, guess how many other black boys gonna want to be a billionaire through tech?
Seriously, that
like,
representation.
Or even if I'm a millionaire, $100 millionaire, or make $1 million, make a couple $100,000. If I'm that guy who did it in tech, then I know it's gonna be a lot of black young boys that want to follow and do the same type of things. And so, that's
important.
Yeah, like I said, that's my hope for the community, is to uplift it. You got to play their game. Like, they create this game of capitalism.
Come on.
You got to play their game. Like, it's been going on for 400, 500 years.
Yes.
You can't do it another way within a society. Like, you got to be realistic. Like, you have to create something. You got to make some money from it. You got to use that money to build your own institutions. Because what the thing is that they own the institutions. That's why they're able to stay on top. It's because they have institutions. And because they have institutions that service their people primarily, now it's harder for other people to come up to be the majority in those institutions.
Yeah. Because
we don't own those institutions. We didn't start them. We can be the primary people in our own institutions that we create, but we have to create them.
That's what I'm talking about.
And so that's my hope for the community. Just, you feel me, for my community, for my folk, is building institutions. And institutions is everything, right? Institutions is schools,
hospitals, the jail system.
Yep, hospitals, jails, rehabs.
It is.
Businesses
are
are institutions. Medicines, right? Like, I can't wait to see black folk with real beneficial herbal medicine type institutions, right?
Yeah.
That they actually healing people, like our current pharmaceutical industry treats us. But that's it. They just treat you. They don't cure you. They don't heal you.
They don't.
And it's for profit. Like, that's why they keep you in the hospital. If you get checked into the hospital, they will keep you an extra day or two so you get that check. Like,
They definitely, unfortunately, but
yeah, it's unfortunate, but that they got to make money, and that's what I said. Total capitalism is unsustainable. Like, people go eventually get too greedy, and it's unsustainable.
That's very true. Well, do you have anything that you want to say to the people?
Anything I want to say to the people, I would just say, if you're watching this,
y'all better watch this.
Yeah, whoever is watching this, because if you looking, you already watching, right?
Right.
Just take out the time to really think about what you're doing. Ask yourself, is it serving you? Like, is this job that you work in serving you the way that you want it to? Is it fulfilling you? Not only are you making money, but is it fulfilling you? And if it's not, then you need to figure out what will fulfill you. And when you figure that out, you need to start making small moves to get to that. Step into your own greatness. Do things that fulfill you, that you can be proud of. Working 20 years, 30, 40, 50 years for a company. I mean, unless it's a good company and it's the job that you just so wanted. But if it's not that, then, you should really be honest with yourself. We live in a new, our society is building and is moving forward technologically, like, super fast. I'm in the tech industry. When I go to tech events, I'm talking to people who have all these AI things. A lot of these jobs ain't even gonna be here in the next 10 to 15 years.
Talk about it.
So, you really need to start figuring out what you can do to fulfill yourself, because like I said, especially if you're a young person working like most labor jobs ain't finna be here, I'll tell you that. Like call centers, all that type of stuff. Like, they got AI right now that sound just like me. Like, hello? Hey, yes, okay, I can navigate you to wherever you want to go. Like literally AI that sounds just like a real person. So, you really need to get real with yourself and really start thinking about what you can do to benefit yourself, but fulfill yourself and help other people. And I feel like, when you find that, you'll be happy. and you know, you'll find your purpose in life and get in where you fit in, basically.
Learn to switch lanes.
Yep, definitely.
I appreciate this, Marcus.
No problem. No problem. Anytime.
Thank you for being a part of Hidden Jewels Watts edition. Okay, gotta shout out Watts. We both grew up there, so
Yes,
we
ma'am.
appreciate it.
For sure.